Hey guys, thanks for watching. It's probably been about 2 years since I've done anything but a makeup tutorial. So I figured it was time that I really try and actually make a go of this and try to get more comfortable sitting in front of the camera speaking because it's a little weird, not gonna lie. I thought I would do a August favorites. A lot of people hate these videos, but in the beauty community I feel like it's something that we all really love. I find that whenever I watch other favorites videos, I usually end up compiling a list of products that I want to try for myself. Also, if you happen to notice that I look a little different, it's because I'm wearing a hat. I'm totally kidding. I had surgery. So at the beginning of July, I had major nasal surgery. It's a surgery that I have needed for over 9 years. Basically, at some point in my childhood, my nose was broken, which caused it to grow abnormally and also caused a variety of breathing problems. It was necessary medical surgery, but they did also correct the external part as that was affected by the nose being broken. So it was a septorhinoplasty, a polyplectomy, and they also cleared out my sinuses. It was a lot. Like, it was not fun. It was a very long process, but I finally got it done. Now I just am waiting to recover. It's still very swollen and will be probably for the next few months. Usually 6 months is about how long it takes before you can start to see what it's really going to look like. So it's still very wide, very swollen throughout this whole area here, swollen at the incision site, and my sinus area is also swollen. But yeah, just wanted to call out the elephant in the room in case you were wondering. Let's jump into my favorites. So I only really had one skincare favorite this month, mostly because I was pretty much doing the same routine and hadn't really gotten a chance to try the new skincare products I picked up. But my one favorite is the Clinique Even Better Dark Circle Corrector. So because of my surgery and because the fact that my nose is very swollen in this region here, it's really accentuated my dark circles. But it's very receded and kind of deep in this area here, so the shadows that are caused, as well as the natural dark circles I have, are just horrific. I learned about this product when I first worked with Clinique. That was a couple years ago, but it always kind of caught my attention, and for some reason I never tried it. Until this month I picked it up and I am so thankful that I did. It's basically an under eye cream that is a little bit thinner in texture than your average cream, but its main target is correcting and helping to repair those dark circles. It comes with a metal applicator just like this. You squeeze out a tiny bit, massage it under your eye. Helps boost circulation, it energizes the eye area. It does have a little bit of a pigment, and it's not makeup, it is skincare, but that pigment basically helps to camouflage the dark circles immediately, but the product also does help to correct them over time. So I've been using it for a couple weeks now and I've noticed a huge difference, not just in the appearance of my dark circles and how well it helps kind of hide them, but also in the texture. I do find that the kind of crepiness and dryness that I always get under my eyes has improved from it. Moving on to makeup, my first favorite that I absolutely had to mention is the MAC Electric Cool Eyeshadows. So MAC recently launched a bunch of new colors, and I believe they are limited edition, but if you can get your hands on them, I highly recommend it. They are basically a cream eyeshadow, but they feel a little different than most cream eyeshadows out there. I do have a full review on my blog, which I will link below, but I have been loving these for like a quick, kind of easy everyday look. Comes in a twist-off pot, just like this. All I do is I dip my finger in it, apply it to my eye, and you're good to go. They're so easy to work with. They are very blendable. They work well as a base to put underneath a powder shadow or just on its own. So the two colors that I have been loving are Pure Flash and Superwatt. Pure Flash was from last year's collection, but they usually re-promote it every year, a couple years or so. It is a sort of bright, kind of whitish champagne with shimmer. It's beautiful. It's what I'm wearing on the inner part of my eye. And then Superwatt is a little bit of a deeper, kind of shimmery, almost a bronze, I would say. It looks a little bit darker on the eyes. I have been loving this just to pop on the outer corner. Gives a little bit extra dimension. I will say if you have oily skin and oily eyelids, you will definitely want to use a primer because they can kind of fade a little bit, but amazing. Next are lip products, and both of them are liquid lipsticks. First is Stila, and this is in the very popular shade Patina. I do work in cosmetics, and this shade we sell out of all the time. Like, we rarely have it in stock just because it's such a beautiful color. In the tube, it looks like a really pretty kind of nude pink with a little bit of mauve in it, but depending on your skin tone, it will change. So on me, it turns quite dark. It looks more of like a deep mauvey pink, but on other skin tones, it looks like a bright nude pink. I'll show you what it looks like. Look how beautiful that is. And it is a liquid lipstick, so it does dry fully matte. I love the Stila liquid lipsticks. They are one of my favorites and probably always will be, just because the formula is so opaque and so smooth to apply. Next liquid lipstick that I have been loving is by Lise Watier. It is the Velours liquid lipstick. This one was from the fall collection last year, I believe. It is in the shade Nude. Yes, Nude. But they did actually launch a permanent range of liquid lipsticks, and this is a shade that's included, just in different packaging. I'll show you what this one looks like. These are amazing if you need a bold lip to last all day long, because they will be on there, like all day. The next two makeup products are for the face. So the first one is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. This is the liquid one. This is in the shade Opal, and at first I was a little skeptical because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like kind of the creamy liquid texture. But I've gotta say, for a more natural or lighter look, these are so beautiful. I do have very dry and very textured skin, so sometimes powder highlighters can really accentuate that. This one, however, gives you a beautiful luminescent glow. It does not look sparkly. It just gives you such a radiant, healthy look to your skin. So usually if I'm in a rush or if I'm having a lighter makeup day, I'll take a tiny bit of this on my ring finger and just dab it along here. I do also have the pressed form of Opal, but I've gotta say they look a little different to me. This one looks lighter. For some reason, the pressed Opal comes off a little bit darker on my skin, so I think this one is much more flattering for my skin tone. Last makeup product is a blush. It is the Too Faced Love Flush Blush. Try saying that 5 times fast. And this is in the shade How Deep Is Your Love? So it looks just like this. It kind of hurts me a little bit every time I use this because the pattern on the actual blush is so cute that I never want to disrupt it. It says Too Faced, it has cute little bunnies on it. So precious. So How Deep Is Your Love is a really pretty pinky peach, so it is a little bit brighter. I didn't love all of the shades, to be perfectly honest, but this one I knew right away I had to have. When you first watch it, it feels a little bit dry, so that can kind of be a turnoff, but I promise you when you actually apply it to your skin, even if you have to work it a little bit, it looks so beautiful, looks very natural. So I find they are a bit more of a firm pressed texture. Feels a little bit dry at first, but when you work it into the skin, you see it does apply very beautifully. You don't get a ton of fallout because it is so firm pressed. They're not shimmery, but they seem to reflect light in a very subtle way that makes your skin look nice and healthy. I'd say it's more of a satin / natural finish. Too Faced claims it is a 16-hour blush, and while I do agree that it's long wearing, I think 16 hours is a bit of a stretch. I would not say it lasts 16 hours, on me anyway, but on me after about 5 to 6 hours it starts to fade a tiny bit. I can usually wear it for 8 hours and it's still on there and it still looks nice, but I definitely don't think it lasts 16 hours. Where I think they really succeeded with this blush is the packaging. It is so adorable. It's like a shiny, hard, plastic, heart-shaped container. It made me feel very nostalgic. It reminded me of like Polly Pockets in the 90s, you know, those little house compact things you would get. Yeah, even though it is a little bit pricey, I do think it's a great blush to have in your makeup collection if you are a beauty addict like I am. The last two makeup products are brushes. So they are both MAC. The first brush is the 161 brush. It is the angled, I think it's like a powder contour brush they called it or something. And it launched with the Haute Dogs collection in August. I was immediately intrigued by this as soon as I saw it because the shape is curved. So you can see it is curved up here. And it is duo fiber. I know some people were a little skeptical or intimidated by the shape at first, but I think it's honestly one of the best contour brushes you can get. Especially if you want a light, sort of more natural contour, or if you are new to the contour game. This honestly does all the work for you. It fits to the hollow of your cheek and the natural curve of the cheek so perfectly. And because it has the duo fibers, it picks up the perfect amount of product and distributes it very evenly. It is limited edition right now, I believe, but the MAC associate informed me that if they do well, usually MAC does bring them out as permanent editions. And honestly, I think they would be crazy not to bring this out permanently because it blows their other contour brushes out of the water. The second brush is the 137, which is also pretty new. It is a fluffy kind of domed powder brush. This is very multi-purpose, so I personally like to use this for a light sweep of powder under the eye to set my concealer. Because my under eyes are so dry, I have to be very careful with how much powder I use. This picks up just a light dusting, sweeps it across, and sets it in place. You could also use this for a highlighter brush. It would be great for that as well. And last but definitely not least is a fragrance favorite. So this is the new One Direction perfume called Between Us. I know, One Direction, say what you want, love or hate. I am only mildly ashamed to admit that I do love One Direction. I just saw them in concert when they were here in Edmonton. It's one of the best nights of my life. I was so close that I could see Harry's nipple through his shirt. Just saying. Anyways, this fragrance is their newest addition to their fragrance collection. The top notes are mandarin, nutmeg, and I believe apricot. The mid notes are more floral. It's got freesia, gardenia, and jasmine. The dry notes, which are my favorite, are the patchouli, amber, and vanilla. It has a very different vibe to it. It's more sophisticated, it's warmer, it's deeper, it feels a little bit more mature to me, but it smells so incredible. It's got a very like kind of seductive vibe to it, if you know what I'm saying. The combination of the fruity top notes mixed with the deeper, slightly more warm dry notes just make it, I think, the perfect fragrance. I have been completely obsessed with it. I have been wearing it every single day, non-stop, at home, at work, everywhere I go. Oh god. Honestly, I'm really happy that they came out with a fragrance that is more mature. Not that I'm like 40, but I mean, my 20-year-old self sometimes gets tired of the like fruity little teeny bopper fragrances. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I was also impressed by the price tag. It was only $39 Canadian. Might be cheaper in the US. Everything is usually cheaper in the US, let's be honest. But compared to the previous ones, which were like $60 or $70, that is very affordable. So I will undoubtedly be bathing in this on a daily basis. And naturally, I have a review for this on my blog. I think I've reviewed like every fragrance that they've made. I'll link all of that below. So yeah, that was a run through of my favorite products for the month of August. Honestly, I'm shocked that it's over. I really didn't do anything with my summer other than recover from surgery, so awesome. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have a favorites video, definitely leave it in the comments because I love watching them. I spend way too much time watching favorites videos, to be perfectly honest. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.